I've been asked a lot about this one. Today, we're going to get started on some Bloomy Rind goat cheeses. Hi, I'm Kristen. For this cheese, we're going to use 2 gallons of our fresh goat milk. You're going to need a mesophilic culture. You're also going to need a mold to give you that bloomy rind. Some people like to use the penicillin mold, the penicillin candidum. I like to use the geotrichum only. The penicillin gives a little more, pungent taste, I guess. And I'm going for just a nice, creamy, middle, mild little cheese here. So I'm only going to use the geotrichum mold in this. You're also going to need activated charcoal. This we're going to do a, I guess it's called ash covered, but this will be our ash, and then the white will grow up through that. And you're going to need a few molds. I like this little size. I've got 2 different shapes for these cheeses. The difficulty in this cheese comes in the aging process, not in the making. What we're doing today is really, really easy. I'm putting my 2 gallons in this pot. I'm going to bring the temperature up to about 72 degrees. Add our culture and rennet, and I'll show you that as soon as we get our temperature up here, and leave it overnight. That's where the tricky part comes in. We've got this up to about 72 degrees, maybe a little bit more. I didn't use my thermometer. I've gotten used to just touching the outside of the pot to get an idea of the temperature. I'm going to put about 1/8 of a teaspoon of this mesophilic MM100 culture and float that on top of our milk. And then I'm going to take this geotrichum candidum, which is just a white mold. You just need a little bit of this. I'm just going to grab a little pinch, literally a pinch, and put that on there. I'm going to let that rehydrate on the top of the pot for about 5 minutes, and then we'll stir in our rennet. It's been about 5 minutes now, and I'm going to use my ladle to mix the culture in an up-down motion like this. I'll do about 30 strokes. Once our culture is mixed in, we're going to add our rennet. I've got a bowl with about a 1/4 cup of water in here. I'm going to add 3 drops of rennet. I'm using a single strength animal rennet. And we're going to stir this into our milk using that same up-down motion. Once we're done stirring this in, put a lid on your pot and leave it sit overnight. There's nothing else we need to do till the morning. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. Well, actually, let me tell you a secret. I'm not a morning person. So by the time I got up this morning, got the chores done, got all of this set up, got myself out of my pajamas and looking halfway decent for this video, it's now 11:40, which means that these curds have been sitting about 18 hours, but they're pretty forgiving and they're still going to be delicious and work out just fine. So I've got our setup here for day 2 of our Bloomy Rind goat cheese. I've got a big, baking tray, I guess, with a rack in it, and then our mold set up on there. I'm going to take our curds, which are set up in the pot here. You see there's a layer of whey over the top. Let's see if I can move that up there so you can see. What I want to do is get kind of thin slices of this curd and put it into these molds. Now there's going to be a lot of whey drain out, so it's going to take a little over an hour probably to keep all of this so it fits in, get all this so it fits in the mold. It's going to have to drain in between. So see, I'm going to take a little slice, put it in the mold. By taking it slices like this instead of just a big chunk, it helps it to drain. And you got to keep an eye on your pan here because it will fill up with whey, so you might have to dump that out a couple of times throughout this. There's one. Let me get these other ones done. I got all of these filled and decided that we had enough curd for a 5th one, so I added a 5th mold. And you can see how much, just in a couple of minutes here, they've compressed down. So I'm going to go through just like I did the first time and fill them back up. continue to do that until you've used up all of your curd. I've got all of my molds full now. I'm gonna leave it for a couple hours to settle up and let these curds really compress into the molds. When they're firm enough, we're gonna flip them, but that's gonna be a few hours, so we'll check back with you then. It's been a few hours. I put a towel over these because we got a fly in the house and he's making me crazy. I didn't want him to land on this stuff. You can see how much these have come down, and now they're actually firm enough to handle, but you have to be very, very careful. So I'm just gonna flip them around in the molds. And these cone-shaped molds are interesting. They make it a neat shape when it's done. It makes kind of a, I don't know, more diamond shape. So don't worry about shoving it in the other way. It'll work out just fine. So flip all these, and I'm gonna leave these like this overnight. I'm also going to pour out all this whey that has collected down on my tray. And we'll see you in the morning. It's been about 18 hours again, and it's time to get these guys out of the mold. You can start to see there's a little bit of fuzz starting to grow on these. So let's get these out and get them dusted with our ash and our salt. I have mixed up a tablespoon of kosher salt and a teaspoon of the ash, the activated charcoal is what we're using. So what I want to do is take one of these out of the mold. You can maybe see it's starting to get a little bit of fuzz on it. I'm going to use another mold as a shaker. So I'm going to put my salt and stuff in there. And let's shake it over this bowl. And I just want to gently shake that salt and ash onto the cheese. The ash is going to help to neutralize any strong flavors. It's going to make it a sweeter cheese. Now that I have all these done, you can see that I have them set into this like a cupcake Tupperware. It's a nice flat, narrow one. It fits on the shelf in my wine rack. I'm going to put the lid on these just askew. You don't want to close it all the way up. And this one's a little tall. I'm actually going to lay this puppy on his side. So you don't want it to touch. I've got some of these plastic mats in the bottom here so that air can get up under there. And you need to check these every day, even twice a day, and make sure that the moisture is not building up in there. You want to wipe out any condensation that's built up, any whey that's stripped out. So to start with, I'm going to leave this ajar, just put it so you can see, about like that. I'm going to put that in the cave and we'll check it in the morning. It's been 24 hours on these now, and you can see a bunch of condensation has built up on the lid. So I'm going to take some paper towels and just dry that off. And there's also a little bit of condensation down in the bottom of our container. And if you look closely at these guys, they're starting to grow a little bit of fuzz on them. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to do this every day. Check them, flip them, dry out their container. And I'll check in with you every couple of days just so you can see their progress. See how much wet is down under here? We need to get all that out of there. If it stays too wet, they're going to start to get an ammonia flavor to them that's very unpleasant. So we'll check back in with you soon. It's been a couple of days. I'm going to dry these off and flip them again. Sometimes if the outsides get really fuzzy, you can kind of pat them down. I guess it's the best way to put it. And that helps to keep the rind on there. So I'm gonna pat them, flip them, dry this out, and we'll check them again. I'm gonna keep doing this every day, but I'll check in a couple of days. I'm gonna have to go back and look at dates, but I think we're about a week into these guys. You can see this one, it got stuck to another, started to peel away. All right, keep going. It's been a couple of weeks on these, and they could be a little softer through the middle, but let me cut into one here. You see it's starting to get oozy around the edges. And if I let this sit out at room temperature, it's still cold. You could see where it got a little oozier. So that's it on those. Try a little bit of this. Boom. I'm gonna wrap the rest of these up in, let me swallow, in these mold ripened cheese wraps. It allows it to breathe and not create ammonia in there. So what I usually do is put the little cheese in there, fold the edges over and tie it with a piece of twine and put a sticker on it. Well, that's it. We're gonna bring you another Bloomy Rind cheese. On this next one, I'm gonna use the Penicillium candidum mold, the other white mold, and that'll develop a thicker rind on there. It's just a matter of preference, what you like, what you don't. So we'll bring you that video soon, get working on that one. Meantime, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, we'll see you soon.